Hi there. Welcome back. Welcome back to Supercharged Fridays. Oh my goodness. I was running, probably a little pink in the cheeks. Um, Came from my workout and then, yeah, got a bit late. Oh my goodness. 7 minutes late. If you're catching me live, if you were waiting, you are awesome. Appreciate you waiting. Let us get right into it. If we haven't met before, I'm looking this way because I'm switching on LinkedIn because sometimes things don't work. So I'm putting on multiple screens. If we haven't met before, thank you for tuning in. My name is Sonal Behel. I am a career strategist and former HR director, and I have had an amazing international career over 2 decades in India, South America, and Europe. And what I do today is help people who are going through a transition in their career. Sometimes they're in a bit of a funk in their career. Sometimes it's by choice. Sometimes it's inflicted upon, so involuntary. And we help you to get to the next level as painlessly as possible. That's pretty much what we do. I do this with one on one coaching, group coaching, digital courses, and content just like this. If you're watching me live, going live every Friday on YouTube and LinkedIn, as well as with my podcast called How I Got Hired, and videos. Got a huge library of free videos on my YouTube channel. I got a newsletter, all the stuff, all the things. So we are here now. So thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope you have fun today. Once in a while, I'll bring guests. Today is not one of those days. I do it open office hours. It's completely free. I've been doing this for about 4.5 years without missing a single Friday. Very proud of that. And basically, I help you with whatever it is that's happening. We chat, we have fun, we laugh. I mean, I'm basically looking at my phone and laughing at with myself. But it's become a community. Hashtag Supercharged Fridays, and amazing people have met each other. Some people have written books because of meeting each other. Some people have gone on and physically met each other and had amazing jobs. So this is a lovely virtual networking hour. So let us get right into it. This is not about me. This particular live stream is about you and helping you wherever you are in your career. So I do want to make a quick plug though, because I have a group cohort opening up in the next couple of, so it's already open and it's accepting members, it's accepting students. For if you're someone who's actively in job search and you need help, we will work together over a period of 12 weeks. We're a small cohort and we are live, so it's not that it's something that's done before and you have to watch replays. It's live, we do it together, and we do it in a small group of 5 people, 5 6 people, no more than that. I've had 3 fantastic people signing in. One is in Texas, one is in Switzerland, one is in Malaysia. So just imagine how much you're going to learn from each other, right? INSEAD MBA, I saw Berkeley in there. So clever people as well. So that group is currently open. If you'd like to know more, if you've not been following me, you may not have seen this because I did an advanced level webinar on this last week. And if you'd like to know more, I'm going to share the link right here. It's you go to my website, superchargeyourself.com/job search system. Superchargeyourself.com/job search system. I'm not going to do this right now. It seems to be getting wonky because of me kind of digging in there. There it is. Superchargeyourself.com/job search system. Now I'm going to get right into the comments because it seems that we are live and this is happening. Let's do this. So I do see if you're watching me, thank you for being here on YouTube. I will get to all your questions. Weber, Tanya, thank you for being here. Sufi Beats, Hira Chand, we're gonna get right into it. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm just not seeing any action on LinkedIn, which is fine, which means people are quietly lurking in the background. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, could you give me a thumbs up? Just say hi. Where are you tuning in from? By the way, which city are you guys tuning in from? Can you tell me? I like to know these things in the comment. I'm a very, very curious cat. And if you're watching me on LinkedIn, just let me know. Is it alive? Like, is it working? Are there tech issues? Because I'd like to know this, just in case. Okay. I'd appreciate that. It is working. Karan, thank you. Good morning in Toronto. Thank you. Bhargavi, I'm so happy. Thank you very much. Very, very, very fantastic. New Delhi is in the house. That is my home. Vaibhav, what is up, dude? How can I help? What do you do when you're stuck in a problem and your mind is never trying to solve that problem? It means you're repeating some way again and again. This is literally the definition of being in a funk, right? Not easy, Vaibhav. It's not easy to self-diagnose. Like you don't see something is going on and you're avoiding something, which is why you're maybe going to a familiar pattern again and again, and then you realize, but this is not helping me. This is so frustrating, and you try to go back there, but you're not getting to the root, right? One thing that could help you, there's so many different things, and in the interest of time, right? So I'll make this quick. One thing you could do is speak with someone that you respect. Explain the situation in more detail, because here we're online, and I don't know in what level of detail you want to get into, but if I can help, maybe what you could do is, if you're still watching me, if you're still around, kind of specify a little bit so we can get to understand what's going on. I do believe that we know ourselves really well, and sometimes we want to avoid getting those answers, so we try to you know go around in circles. So figure out what is going on here. I do think deep down, but you might need a little bit of a nudge, to find the right words. Because what is that problem and why is it being repeated? You know what I mean? And one thing that can help you to get unstuck as well, just change your environment physically, right? Change. I was doing something, I was at my desk for a few hours, and literally 1 hour before going live, I was like, okay, I'm going out. It's still cold here in Brussels. I put on my winter coat, went to the forest with my dog, 1 hour, 6, 7 kilometers, come back with pink cheeks. It's cold, but it's so underrated being outside, whether you're in a city or you're in the countryside, being in nature. And if you're in a city, buildings, people, go to a park. Don't underestimate that. I know it sounds a bit simplistic, there's a lot more to this, but I definitely say start with changing the environment. And of course, there's a lot more level of detail. I hope that helps you, Weber. For now, hi, Tanya. What's happening? I completed my machine learning course. Is it necessary to show the certificate or resume or provide any link where the recruiter can check or see the certificate? Not really. But for example, Tanya, if you completed your ML course on LinkedIn, for example, LinkedIn lets you show those credentials. It is helpful, right? I will tell you, what people care more about is experience, not just the certification. Certification is a check in the box. That's not the thing that opens doors. He has a certification, he has a link, credential. Let's call him for an interview. People don't really do that. They want to know, what can you do for me? How can you solve my problems, right? So at the same time, it is a hygiene factor, sort of check in the box, and I would say, yeah, why not? It doesn't hurt you. What's up, Sufyan? Hello, how are you? I'm. I have a very important question. How do you compare two jobs? Beautiful. I love this question. So, Sufyan, go to my YouTube channel, and you'll have to rewind maybe 1 or 2 years. I don't have that many videos anymore, so it shouldn't be too hard. Okay. There is a video where I talk about this, and I go into 8 factors. There are 8 factors that will help you to compare two. I'm guessing you're talking about 2 job offers, and you want to figure out which one you want to take. First of all, can I tell you, this is a good problem to have? There are people out there who don't even have one, and here you have 2. Okay, so always start from a place of gratitude. Always acknowledge this is a good problem to have. Now, those 8 factors, I want you to watch that video properly, because every person will have different priorities. For some person, money is very important because of the stage you are in your career. Maybe you just got children or you got parents, and you've been out of employment for a while. Money is very important. Do not let people tell you money will come. Yes, it will. But immediately you want to make sure that the basics are taken care of. There's a roof over your head. You got food on the dining table. Electricity is paid. Okay. So you could be at a stage where money is fine, but you're looking at working with a brand. Or you could say, I've already worked at a brand. I've worked at a good company with good reputation. What I want is learning and development, and mentally I want to be stimulated. So it depends, right? So check that video out and make a ranking on these factors and what matters to you, and I give you some ideas on how to make that happen. Right? Good luck. I wish you the very best. You're welcome, Tanya. Let me know how things go with your job search. Hi there, Hira Chand. Did I say that right? Hira Chand? When I say that I have a 90-day notice period, why do HR like not interested? Why do they act like they're not interested, even though their company also has the same? I have two words for this: double standards. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I live in Europe. A 13-week notice period, which is the equivalent of 90 days, a 13-week notice period is very common, especially if you've been in a company longer than, 1 year. So if I'm recruiting here and someone has a 13-week notice period, we understand. What can we say? I remember we hired a guy once from Germany who had a 5-month notice period. What are they going to do? They waited. That company hated it. They made his life miserable. But it just doesn't make any sense, because companies need to realize if someone's resigned, they mentally checked out. So what's the point of retaining? Obviously, you want some smooth handover, passing of knowledge. Beyond that, it just doesn't make sense. People are demotivated. But I can't answer that for you. I can't get into those people's brains, because I personally don't get it. I'm so happy my videos are helpful, Bhargavi. Thank you for being here. If you have any specific questions, let us get into it. Okido. Yes, you do have a question. Okay. What's happening? What else? What else is happening? I'm looking at LinkedIn. It's very quiet. What is happening, LinkedIn? Why are you being so shy today? YouTube is beating LinkedIn, hands down. Here's my YouTube peeps right here. Can you please help me with your suggestion? Yes, Bhargavi, it would be my pleasure. If an employee is looking to transit a career from one domain into another, why is it difficult to get that job? Can you please share your insights? Yeah. I did a fantastic, I have to say this, even though it sounds like I'm showing off. I did a fantastic live webinar yesterday with Antwerp Management School, and the entire topic was career change. It is difficult. It's difficult for you. It's also difficult for the company. Now, listen, there are 3 types of change. There could be a change in function, change in industry, change in geography. If you're trying to make 2 out of 3, function, geography, industry. If you're trying to make 2 out of 3, it's harder to convince. I would say start with low-hanging fruit. Start with one. Start with one. And for example, I've done marketing in pharma. I want to do marketing in consumer, B2C, e-commerce. Okay. I've done finance in polymers and B2B and, people that make air conditioning. I've done finance there. I want to do finance in tech. Yeah, I can see that, right? So be very clear that the change that you're suggesting makes sense for the company. What's in it for them, with them? What's in it for me? They are thinking from their point of view. So it's not that it's impossible. I just want you to find common ground. Okay. And let's say I have an expensive MBA and I want to change my geography, I want to change my industry. Why will a company pay me premium? Why will they pay top dollar to bring me on if they can get someone who, because let's say I want to go from HR to marketing. I like that. Why will they pay for me? Because I'm going to be getting trained. They are literally paying for my training. No, they want someone who's a plug and play, right? Put yourself in the company's shoes. Why would they not? They're paying, they expect you to understand and hit the ground running, especially in today's world. So make it easy for them, right? Make it easy for them. And I would say that the change that you're making, just take baby steps here. We don't always have to romanticize big, hairy, audacious goals and just say people will have this toxic positivity that it's possible. You can do anything you put your mind to. Sure, have a plan though, right? You don't just suddenly decide and wake up in the morning. I'm doing a master's today. I'm going to apply to Harvard Business School. You don't just wake up tomorrow and say I'm going to study in Europe. I want to work in Europe. You make a plan. Similarly with career change, you make a plan. It just doesn't happen like that, right? And approach it step by step. I have a lot more on this on my YouTube channel. I have a 7-step process called the vitamin approach. Check that out. Okay. I made 2 videos on career change, and I think you'll find those very valuable. Hi, Hadi. Thank you for being here, Sufi. I'm glad this was helpful. Okay. Next question. Hadi Maradia. Thank you for being here. This is a new name for me. Where are you tuning in from? Please tell me. I am. I hope it's not impolite. No, it's not impolite. Why am I? It's impolite. I like to know where people are. What if I'm currently at a package that's well above market standards? Then how do you negotiate confidently for your desired number when you're looking for a switch? Hadi, I'm so glad you're asking this because there's people around you who will say there's no need, you're already expensive. Even your own brain will tell you. But expensive compared to what? Expensive compared to what? Because your benchmark might be off. You might say, I'm expensive compared to the market. Where? But what about your skill set? If you do something that's valuable, that's seen as valuable, right? It's difficult to replace someone like you. Then you have to find a way to negotiate, right? I have a lot of check out on my YouTube channel, by the way, I've started doing a lot of YouTube shorts. So they'll be like 60-second snippets or 59-second snippets, and a couple of them are salary negotiation related. So I did one a couple of days ago. You'll find it very easily in the recent past. And you don't just wake up one morning and decide I'm going to earn more. You got to have a plan, right? And you got to show them what's in it for them. So the benchmark shouldn't be your past salary. The benchmark should be, what do you deliver? How is it helpful for them? Build a case for them, right? And how can you show that your contribution helps add serious value in the company? 5x, 10x, 20x your salary, because you are there, right? And the more rare your skill set, sure, but it never hurts to ask, as long as you ask nicely. So lots of videos on my YouTube channel about the art of negotiation, so take advantage of that. Another resource I recommend, completely free, on my podcast, I interviewed this lady. She's an amazing, amazing negotiation coach. She's one of the world's best negotiators, hostage negotiators, all that. And I don't see many women in this space, and she's killing it right now. Her name is Luzine Mehrabi, and she is based in Dubai. And she very graciously agreed to be on my podcast, and she shared a ton of tips for free. Please take advantage of that. Just go to my website. Just go to my website. So, how I got hired. If you write my name and write how I got hired, you'll find it. Otherwise, just go to my website, superchargeyourself.com/podcast, and you'll find Luzine Mehrabi. So I hope that helps. Good luck. And keep asking for more because you're worth it. You're worth it, L'Oreal, because I'm worth it. Okie do. Okie do. What else is happening? Let me kind of just remind you about this. This is the link down below if you want to find out. You also have the possibility to schedule a one-on-one with me. Absolutely no obligation. If you have an interest in the program but you have questions, just send me a message and I'll share that link over to you. Okie doke. Mumbai. Yeah, Hadi, the best place for questions is here. This is the best place for questions. I unfortunately do not take calls where people are like, can I pick your brain? This is the place to do it, right? So take advantage. And if you don't have time today, you can definitely log in next Friday. I'm live at the same time every single Friday. So definitely good. If you want to get more specific and you need a little bit more hand holding, you're welcome to sort of schedule a call with me. All the details are on my website. Hi, Jayesh. How do you improve English communication skills? Suggestions for development who is an introvert and who's not talking too much. That's absolutely fine. Your level of introversion or extroversion shouldn't matter when you are looking at a language, right? I'll tell you, when I think about when I lived in South America and I started with zero English, zero Spanish, right? Your English is better than what my Spanish was when I started. Like literally, I went from zero to fluent in 1 year. When I say fluent, I wasn't perfect. I made a bunch of mistakes. It probably hurt people's ears when I talked because I was loud and I had a musical accent. I had an Indian accent when I spoke Spanish. What else am I going to do? Um, and it's not about introverted or extroverted at all. Don't worry about that. It does help that you get out of your comfort zone and talk to people and practice. And if you're living in India, everyone speaks English, right? So you are in an immersion environment. That's a very good thing. Don't worry about how things sound. You have resources today that I didn't have back in 2005, which is all in the space of your smartphone. So, apps, there are so many apps where you can study things for free, practice. There is no substitute for practice. You can even sign up for a classroom learning environment. Those are great, but don't go for one-on-one. Go for group. You listen. You learn a lot by listening. And if you are an introvert, you listen by default. You listen better than a classic extrovert who has more energy and who talks more and occupies a lot of space with his or her voice versus listening. I'm very like stereotyping here these definitions, right? And if you are a voracious reader as well, if you're a reader, take advantage of these things and compare, set yourself some goals, very reachable, realistic goals every quarter, and say, I should be able to do X. I'm going to read books. I'm going to read or listen to books on Audible when you're in a bus or you're driving. I'm going to listen to the news. People who read the news in English tend to have a pretty perfect accent. BBC. When I was teaching people English and I was living in South America, we would tell people to watch the BBC. And then I came to Europe and I was learning French. They were telling us to watch TV5. So for the French accent, these are the people who would have the perfect diction, right? Definitely possible for you, Jayesh. Good luck to make it happen. Okay, doke. I am falling behind. Hi, Anaga. You got a couple of questions, Anaga. I'm going to get right into it. My current company isn't giving me an appraisal, even though my work and performance is beyond expectations. When you say appraisal, I'm guessing you mean an increase in salary. They're making reasons of being in financial debt, whereas they do have a lot to give. Sounds a bit sneaky. I know how much they get paid for my work on the client side. I know they're earning 120% more than I get from the work they do. No, I totally understand, but they have different expenses as well. I don't think that's a very logical comparison because they have overheads that you don't tend to think about. But listen, it sounds like something doesn't feel right here, right? You don't feel like you've been listened to, you don't feel heard, you don't feel seen. And the reason that they have given, you don't tend to believe that. It doesn't make a lot of financial sense because you have seen um, you've seen it to not be true. You have choices, Anaga. Is it this that's bothering you, or is it the lack of respect? Maybe it's both, right? Because when we feel respected, when we earn well, we feel respected, we feel seen, we feel heard. If someone were to sit down and say, hey, you've done a fantastic job this year, we are not in a position, and if you know they're not giving anyone an increase, then it's not personal. I've been in companies where we had 0% increase, and in fact there would be an indexation, like Europe has inflation and all that. So actually your indexation, inflation, and you're getting no increase, you're actually losing money every year, right? People stick it out a year, 2 years, 3 years, look for something else in the meantime. So it isn't just about that. It's about, do I feel valued here? Do I see a future here? I had a guest on my podcast who told me every year on 31st December, he used to ask himself, he used to sit down in the evening just before the parties and, New Year's Eve and all that. He would ask himself, am I going to give one more year to these people? Am I going to give one more year to these people? I love this question because you have a choice. It's giving you the power. Am I going to give one more year to these people? And I think that it's so powerful that we don't have to wait for the end of year to do this. You can ask in the end of the quarter. You can ask end of the month. We're on April 27th right now, April 26th. Ask yourself on 30th April, am I going to give these guys 3 more months? If what feels good, you want to stay, do you want to go? It's your call, right? Um, if they're saying they can't, they can't. You can go through my salary negotiation videos, but at some point, if you're hitting a wall, you do need to have the emotional intelligence and the presence to realize, it's not going to work here. These are not guys who are interested in negotiating with me right now, right? But I know how you feel. I know how you feel, and I've also been on the HR side. It's not fun. It's not fun for them either. Uh, what are the best job portals for remote jobs? Kaushik, I would not be too aware of that, but I would think that a simple Google search will send you down a very interesting rabbit hole. Check that out. There should be lots and lots of resources. There's a guy who was in my DMs. There was a guy in my DMs who talked about remote opportunities as well, and they specialize in remote. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Yes. Remotive. They curate jobs. Remotive. REMOTIVE. Remotive.com. Check that out. Maybe that's interesting. Hi, Nikhil. Long question coming up. Okay, this is the last question, and I'm gonna go because I need to have my lunch. Let's go, Nikhil. What's happening, Nikhil? Let's do this. Okay. I recently joined a new organization 5 months ago. After joining, I realized I'm quite underpaid, having some responsibilities. Will it be a good idea to ask my manager to give some sort of market correction? It depends, how comfortable you feel, Nikhil. I mean, you you can ask, maybe wait for the right time. When you're doing a project and people are in a good mood and people are happy. I think timing matters. If company has just announced results and they're not doing well, did you just see that the new kid asked us for an increase? Gossip, weird stuff happens, people repeat. So I think timing matters. And you can also, I would say talk to your manager before you talk to HR. Talk to your manager. Talk to your manager and say, hey, and also such a good lesson, by the way, for the future. I know you don't want to hear this, but it's such an important thing that when we get an offer, we do our best to negotiate at par with the market. So that this is exactly the thing I want you to not feel. I don't want you to feel cheated that everyone's here and I am here, right? Not a good feeling. But if everything else is good and you enjoy your work there, you can let your manager know. Say, hey, what would it take? What would you recommend to have a correction? Because I feel like it might be lower than what the others are getting. Because it's a little stupid also on the comp and ben side to be giving you a lower salary, because they're also going to realize that you're going to find out, and nobody likes that feeling. So unfortunately, yeah. Anaga, you're welcome. Good luck with everything. I wish you the best. So yeah, thank you for joining me live, and hope this has been helpful. I want to also quickly just share a quick plug here. My podcast episode that came out, the recent one, is an amazing one. This lady, she was a senior partner at McKinsey. She's Egyptian American. Her name is Dr. Mona Murshid. And she moved from that senior partner McKinsey role to starting a global nonprofit called generation.org. O-R-G. And she's doing amazing things. And she's looking at how education can make people more employable. And they've helped 100,000 people. And she did all of this in the middle of the Arab Spring in 2011. Formative time for her, but lots of learning in that episode. If you guys like podcasts and you like listening, have us in your ears. It's about 40 minutes. And I learned so much from her. I went back and listened to the episode twice. So check that out on my podcast, How I Got Hired. It's the latest episode. And a quick last reminder, because the price does go up tonight. if this is of interest, I do want you to know that look down below on the screen. My group cohort is going to fill up very quickly. I've got just 2 spots open of the job search system. And if you are in the middle of a career transition and you need help, oh, by the way, sometimes, if you're in between jobs and if you were laid off, sometimes companies can help. Companies can help by sponsoring this program because they already pay outplacement firms much more than what it is. And this is a very hands-on program and it's focused on implementation, getting your brand new goals ready, resume ready. So the resume is the kind of resume that invites every single person in my program right now is getting calls for interviews. Some of them are through LinkedIn and some of them are through applications, but they weren't getting them before. And this is the power of working on these things together with my eyes on your resume, on your LinkedIn, your interview style, your salary negotiation, your networking, outreach, all the stuff. It's a 12-week program. So we meet 2 times a week. So it's really, really jam-packed and focused on action. If that's of interest, check it out. superchargeyourself.com/job search system. And if you have questions about it, send me a message. I will schedule a one-on-one with you and see, is this going to help you or not? And if it's not, I'm going to tell you it's not. Otherwise, what's the point? It's not going to be a right fit. And if it is, I'm going to welcome you with open arms. Got fantastic people in it already, from all the way from the USA to Switzerland to Malaysia. I just have to figure out the time zone, how that's going to work. Okay, I'm going to go now. I have a quick question here from Raul. Hi, Raul. Do you think LinkedIn's a bit social media that people use more to look at something? It is social media. Much more than it used to be. It used to be once upon a time jobs, careers, it's much more. It's thought leadership. It's personal branding. And people go there for news. People go for news, what's happening in my network, but also what's happening in the company. Some people follow company pages. So definitely social media. And your about section on LinkedIn needs to be focused on that you're talking to a person. It's not written in third person. Raul Pucci is, no, I, so it's social media, it's conversational. Unlike a resume. Thank you for being here. I look forward to spending time, same time next Friday on Supercharged Fridays. Wish you a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend. Bye for now.